Last year I asked my good friend 11-year-old Caelan if he would be willing to sit down with me for a podcast so I could interview him and we could just talk pole vault. Little did he know that 10 minutes into the interview, Mondo Duplantis was going to knock on the door and Caelan was going to be interviewing Mondo. Dude, ready to podcast it up?
I guess so.
Like your shirt. Alright, dude, pick your favorite microphone. Let's do this. What's up, man?
What's up?
Welcome. Hey, dude, got a special guest for you.
What's up?
I'm gonna warn you, these are all commercials. This video right here is brought to you by the Pole Vault Toolbox. I wrote a frickin' book. So here's the idea. I realized that pole vault excels when we have proper pole vault education and the right equipment. So I spent all summer writing this book to help with the pole vault education part. And I'm using a portion of the proceeds from the book to buy pole vault poles for pole vault programs. Man, there's a lot of P's in that. And I'm calling it the Pole Vault Initiative. And so far, this is super exciting to me because I can't believe it's working. We've been able to give away $3,000 in pole vault poles to pole vault programs. It's working. So to order the book and be a part of the Pole Vault Initiative, head over to team-hoot.com and pick up a copy. And for every purchase on team-hoot.com, your name gets put into a hat so the poles are donated to your program. That's Pole Vault Initiative. Last commercial, I swear. I will be in Reno with these. You can get a copy there. There is a little bit of a catch there because Reno does have some funny tax rules. These will be all over the place. It's just a piece of paper, it's not the book. On the back, there's a special Pole Vault Summit promo code so you can get free shipping. So order the book online, and then on Saturday between 1 and 3, I will be at the Reno Livestock Center where everybody will be pole vaulting, and I'll be at the announcement table with stacks of these. So we can hang out a little bit and you can pick up your book. And then if you want me to ruin it by signing it, I'll do that too. A special bonus, anyone there will be getting a limited edition Team Hoot Pole Vault Toolbox sticker. Speaking of stickers, last year I did a limited edition Reno sticker. It looked a lot like this. This year I did the same thing. There will only be 100 of these, so come find me fast. That's it for commercials. Let's get into this. The podcast. This is one of 3 pole vault podcasts that I made last year that I just never released. But I will be releasing them on this channel soon. Well, the first one's today, so that's pretty fast. Why did I do it this way? Why did I have an 11-year-old interview Mondo Duplantis? Why didn't I just do it? So when I met Caelan a few years ago, it reminded me of the Sandlot. He loved pole vaulting in the same way the kids loved baseball. And I'm always looking for little opportunities to throw gas on like a flame like that. To like, you've got this to help push them along, somebody along with their interests. And helping people along those types of journeys are one of my favorite things to do in life. So that's why I did it this way. And hopefully it did that. A few things to note. The first 10 minutes of this podcast is Caelan and I talking, and if I seem a little distracted, it's because I'm waiting for Mondo to knock on the door. Caelan doesn't know this is happening. Everything after that, it's Caelan's podcast, and he's interviewing Mondo. I'll put the full reaction of what happened between them at the end of this video. Let's get going.
Just kind of excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So Caelan, I'm with Caelan. Caelan, can you tell me how old you are?
I'm 11 years old.
11 years old.
Yeah.
And so tell me about the story of getting to this is your first Reno, right?
Yep.
And you've never been here before.
No.
But did you want to ever come here?
Oh yeah. For a long time too.
What made you how did you know about this place?
Well, actually I watched your video when Mondo jumped 19.1, Sandy jumped 490, 16. It, just seeing all the crowds and people clapping and the adrenaline going. I wanted to be there.
You had to experience that.
Yeah.
That was your jam. So, but then, so tell me the story of what happened. So I was excited because I met you in Moberly at a Team Hoot pole vault camp, or a Moberly camp, however you want to say it. We were there. I met you, and the first thing you told me is, I want to do exactly what Mondo did. You jumped 10 feet as a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Right? And you're at 10.9 as an 11-year-old?
Yeah.
Is that right? So you're just trying to follow that same path, right?
Yeah.
So you're excited to come here and do that, but so then tell me the story. What happened the day before you left you were going to fly out to Reno?
All right. So I was hanging out with my mom. I was just eating, and I had this kind of pain in my stomach. I thought it was just maybe nerves. But then when I woke up the morning, I thought I was gonna be sick, like just sick. Just I'll be better tomorrow. Well, I'll be fine. But then it hurted for a lot longer than you should have. So it was like, why haven't I vomited yet? So like a little weird. So then it kept getting worse and worse and moving around, and then finally, my mom got home, and it kept hurting, and then finally we had to go to the doctor because it hurt so bad. So then when we got there, I threw up eventually. I felt a little better, but
so you did throw up.
Yeah.
You know what my niece calls that?
What?
Pooking. Yeah, so you pooped all over the place.
Yeah, sucked. I mean, and then after they kind of just see what's going on, and I don't really remember what else happened, but then they said you might have it, so we had to go all the way to Columbia.
What'd they say you might have had?
My appendix
Oh, so they thought you had appendicitis.
Yes, appendicitis. So we had to go to Columbia. They checked it out, and they did some tests. They did an ultrasound, and they couldn't find anything. And then they did a CAT scan. So then they found it, and they said we had to do surgery.
And this was the day before you're supposed to fly out to Reno.
Of course.
To do this crazy meet that you've been excited for
a year.
A year. since the video came out that you found out about this place, right?
Mm-hmm. It had to be that day.
It had to be the day before.
Yeah.
So then you went into emergency surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So then what happened?
It was we stayed up all night because we didn't do the CAT scan until 4 o'clock in the morning. So we stayed up all night, and then we went up to the upstairs. And
so was this on Wednesday or Tuesday?
Wednesday.
And you were supposed to fly out Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 o'clock Wednesday. We're supposed to fly out, and then we went 9 o'clock. I asked, "Hey, am I still allowed to go to Reno?" And they said, "We don't know yet." So I went to surgery. It was a good surgery.
But what your dad told me was the last thing you asked before you got knocked out. You were like, "Can I still go to Reno?" And he explained it as you were drifting off into space.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, I woke up in the same exact room I was before, and we were just watching movies. And so I asked, "Am I still able to go to Reno?" The doctor said we could not fly because there's too much pressure on my stomach or well, I don't have one anymore, but on my stomach.
Your former appendix.
Yeah. So
the artist formerly known as appendix, right?
Yeah. But so I couldn't really fly, so I asked my dad if we could drive, and he said yeah.
Wait, where do you guys live?
We live in Macon, Missouri.
In Missouri.
Yeah.
So you live in Missouri. You had to get all the way to Reno.
Mm-hmm.
So what did your dad say when you were like, "Well, we can't fly, so can we drive?"
Yeah. So we went all the way back home, and my parents already stayed up all night the night before. So we got our stuff. We were heading on. My parents stayed all night that night, and we drove all day that day, and we finally got to Reno. And
yesterday at 7:30.
Yes, which would have been a little later at Macon's time zone.
Yeah. So. Oh my gosh. So how many hours was that driving?
I think it was about 27, 29, somewhere around there.
Too many hours. After 25, you stop counting probably, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. So how was driving with your appendix out?
The bumps were kind of a little hurt. I felt a little weird when it happened, but I feel it was just, my abs were just really sore. And I feel a lot better now, but...
So you're going to pole vault tomorrow then?
No.
No, that's probably a good move.
Yeah. I'm just super happy to be here at Reno to meet all the elites and hang out with some people.
Yeah. So it's Friday, it just started, kind of. What have you done so far? I didn't show everything in that video last year, so you're probably experiencing some things that maybe you weren't even expecting. So... what kind of things have you done this morning already?
Well, I went to go eat breakfast with you, and you got to meet some fans. It was really cool. They seem like really nice people. And then we went to this assembly, and we met Sandy. She's really awesome. And then then when Mondo came in the room, it's like, hallelujah. Finally see him after a year and a half, probably. First day I started pole vaulting, I probably watched his progression video.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was really awesome when I got to see Mondo.
So is he like your pole vault hero then?
Yeah.
Like your favorite?
My favorite, definitely.
Well, that hurts a little bit, man. No, I'm just kidding. That's pretty cool. And you said you saw his dad, Greg, yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
I saw Greg this morning, and he was on the phone. I didn't want to bug him, but he seems really awesome.
I think you can bug Greg anytime. I always call him Mr. Duplantis because it feels righter, but I'm sure you could call him Greg if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So, why Mondo? Why has he been like kind of your guy?
All right, so Mondo, he vaulted at a very young age, just like I am.
And how old are you again?
11.
When do you turn 12?
I turned 12 February.
Okay.
So, like, he's kind of like my motivator. So, if I'm not jumping, I kind of want to beat one of his world records, which might not happen. But, so he's kind of my motivator and things like that. So, when I watched him, and plus he was like the first person I got to watch.
Yeah. And what do you do this summer for you? I heard like a rumor.
All right, so I was kind of talking with him, and I think it was at Bell Athletics. He used to go there all the time, and he asked me for my address, so we gave him that, and then like I think it was a couple months later, I had a friend out, and we went to go get the mail, and all of a sudden I saw the Sweden speed suit, and it said Mondo 605.
No way.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then he also gave me 2 other speed suits. One was just he just wore it as a kid. The other one was when he got the 10-year-old world record. He jumped it at Reno. He jumped 11.2 in it.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was really excited when that happened.
That's pretty cool. Oh man, so how was Bell's? Like it sounds like you're 11 years old and you've done all these crazy pole vault things already. Mm-hmm. So before we talk about Bell's, like where did this come from? Why pole vault? Like why aren't you running around playing baseball and football like a bunch of normal 11-year-olds?
All right, so my brother, like I kind of knew he always did pole vaulting, but I was like, nah. But then there's like some meet he jumped, so I was like, I kind of want to try that. So what we did was we had a broken crossbar at our house, and my dad kind of built a little box. So what I would do, we had a little slant hill that I would use. We put the box. We got these tomato plant things. I would use those and get like a stick and just start vaulting, jumping off the wrong foot.
So you had like a vegetable record.
Yeah.
So you jumped the tomatoes.
Yep, garden record.
You had garden records. You got to
Yeah.
get those sunflowers probably now, huh? Yeah.
So then what happened was that eventually I broke the crossbar. So I don't consider that as a pole break.
Wait, did you break it mid-jump? Or did it just
I jumped
break?
off the ground and then it just broke.
Really?
Yeah. So then so maybe I was like, hey, maybe we can start going serious. And then
And how old were you at this time?
I was 10. So
So you just started.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you'd been jumping longer. So wait, you jumped 10 feet as a 10-year-old your first year.
Mm-hmm.
That's even more impressive.
So what we did was we went to this street vault. It was in the summer. It was really hot outside. I was jumping off my wrong foot. I jumped 7-1 that meet.
Is that your first meet?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And then, well, I said that my PR was 7.6, but it was on the bungee. So my bungee PR.
You gave him a bungee PR instead of your real PR?
So 7.1 was my basically real PR that I had. So then a guy named Todd Cooper said, hey, why don't you come out to our place and we can teach you some stuff. So next thing you know, we go there and I finally start jumping on the right foot. Not my right foot, but my left foot.
The correct foot.
The correct foot.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And then that's when the kind of all started.
It's pretty crazy. So what was so fun about it? Like, this is what I fell in love with you in Moberly, when you were asking me questions that not even elite pole vaulters have talked to me about. Like, what do you like? What's the part of the pole vault that you like that feels the best? You were asking me questions like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, this kid's deep about pole, like really down the rabbit hole on this. So, like, what is it about this sport that just hooked you?
I think the flying part when you're up in midair, and then as soon as you clear the bar, the relief that you get after clearing it, and after the crowd cheers, I think that's probably why I love it so much. And then I love to see other vaulters come in at my age, and like now I have to compete against olders, but I like to see kids at my age and become best friends with them, and then
Have you run into a lot of other kids your age?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of them, and I've became good friends with them. Like, like some of them were older, some of them were younger. I met probably one of my best friends. Like, we weren't really best friends, but we were friends. We met at a meet. It was in Illinois, and he was really short. Like, I don't know, Illinois must be really short because everybody's super short. There's a 13-year-old that was shorter than me, and this guy, I thought he was my age, and he's jumping almost 12 feet. So I was really excited because, hey, I might have actually a competitor to go against that seems my age. But then we realized he was 14. But, I mean, that's still really good for a 14-year-old to jump almost 12 feet.
Right.
So, yeah, I kind of talked to him. We kind of pole vaulted a little bit, and we became kind of friends, even though it was only a day together. And he kind of looked like Mondo, too, to be honest.
He did? That's probably why you liked him so much, huh? You give him a speed suit, you probably wouldn't even tell him apart. So you're in Missouri, and so what grade are you in then?
6th grade.
6th grade. Can you pole vault in school in 6th grade?
No, 7th grade, actually.
So how are you managing that right now?
What do you mean?
So like if you can't jump in school, that's how most people. I feel like you probably just might not be aware of that yet, but so most kids can't jump until middle school or high school, and that's where they start. But you have this like crazy ability is the wrong word, this crazy advantage that a lot of kids haven't had. Like, why are you able to pole vault right now? Like, where do you do it? Where do you train and practice?
So, like I said earlier, I go to this place called Just Vault during the winter, and then okay, this comes up to another whole story that we found.
I like stories, man.
We found a place. It was in Vault Haven in Moberly, and we got to.
And who runs that?
Coach Dr. Brad Friedel.
Okay.
So he coaches that, and he's really a great guy, and it was free too. So it's kind of like free coaching. So I vault there during the summers, and then during the winter I vault at Todd's place, Just Vault.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Gotta go get the door real quick. Okay. Be right back, okay? Hey, dude, got a special guest for you.
What's
Oh, my God.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do this thing.
So
You ready to answer some questions?
yeah, just keep this in your grill, and that's about all you gotta remember, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Right up in there.
Yeah.
So, dude.
All right.
Okay, hold him back.
You all right, dude?
Almost
You should know him. You wear a speed suit all the time.
Yeah.
Man.
Whoa.
Good surprise for you. All right, Caelan. So this is your podcast, like I said.
Yeah.
And you were worried you weren't going to be able to talk to him this whole entire time. You got one question, I think, at that circle meeting, right?
I got a couple more after.
You got a couple more?
Yeah.
Well, now,
I think he just followed. He probably broke a little bit of the rules.
Oh,
but
did
he
he
just
follow you around?
Yeah, no, I answered this question in one group and then I answered it in another, and I was like, wait, you were in a different group like a second ago.
yeah, he was
I
following
think
you
it's all
around
right.
for
I
sure.
think it's all right.
I won't tell anybody if you don't.
No, I won't.
So, dude, any questions you want? He's your man.
Yeah. So, as a kid,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, you weren't able to jump that much, and you said that also at European they had more meets. So, what do you mean by that?
Like, what I mean is like, so there's more of a club system in in Europe and more specifically Sweden, there's whatever your hometown is, they have a little track club. They have a little track club and they have competitions in the summer every weekend or every week or so. And I compete for a different club now in Sweden. I compete for Uppsala, but I competed for the little tiny town that my mom was from, Avesta, and I competed for the little track club in there. So when I would go to Sweden, I would have track meets there, and I can compete whenever I was 10, 8, 9, years old, because they didn't really have much meets here during the summer when you're that young, especially pole vaulting. So yeah, that was big advantage for me, and I think a benefit that I had that not many kids get to experience. Yeah.
So, and another question,
All right, let's hear it.
I feel like you jump really good every single meet. There's always a show when you jump. So like when you jump 605, when you jump 6 meters, when you jump 19 feet for the first time, and like even when younger, that feeling, like what does that feeling feel like? Just
so I'm kind of confused on the question. So you mean like
after you
being consistent, or like just after a big meet?
After like a big meet, like clearing a big bar in front of
like I don't think the feeling from me and you is any different from a PB jump or anybody in Reno. I mean, it's just because I don't think about it really as I just jumped 19 feet or I just jumped 6 meters or anything. It's just I am better than I was yesterday, and I improved. And so something that we used to do when I was growing up was in practice we'd move whatever my PB was, we'd go the slightest inch over whatever my PB was. And it wasn't because it was this big thing because, wow, now I'm this much better. Because that's not even that big of a deal. It's just the fact that it's a confidence thing. It's just that I am getting better and I'm improving and I'm succeeding, which is what it's all about. Because, you just want to be the best version of yourself. You just want to keep improving yourself. So I think the PB feeling is the same for everybody, no matter what the height is.
Mm-hmm. Dang, I'm just so freaked out.
No, it's all good, dude. I'll jump in a little bit.
No, that's a good question. I like that question. Because, also, to add to that point, my favorite jump that I've ever taken, I think, in my life, 6 meters was special because it was at, a championship meet and everything. But when I jumped 12.8 in Clover Street Vault, I had that 12.8 jump. That was one of the best feelings I think I've ever had. That was one of my favorite moments in pole vaulting. It was 12. It was good, of course, for the time, but it was 12.8. Like it wasn't. It's not as high as 19.8 and whatever, but it was a special moment for me at the time because I conquered some fears and I got over some, let's say, mental barriers, and I got on a big pole that meet, and I made this big step in pole vaulting for myself, and so I don't really think of it as the heights, just more improving myself.
I think that's really important too, for the fact you can say that because coaches tell kids that all the time, right? A next pole is still progressing in the sport, and a PB is a PB, but someone sees this huge thing. So I think, does it sound different coming from him than when Dr. Brad Friedel tells you over here the same thing? That's his coach. Is Doctor. I call him Dr. Brad.
Oh, doctor. Hey, doctor.
So I asked Caelan before he came in here, as a kid, what got him so hooked? I know your family, and you probably answered this question a million times. So, can you guys both maybe just talk about as a kid, what's the difference between being a younger athlete and trying to continue to pole? I know you had pits in your backyard, so it was a little different, but maybe even a little advice for someone coming up who's trying to follow in your footsteps a little bit.
So should I go first?
Oh, whoever, you guys can rock, paper, scissors for it if you want. Or
sure. Well, you're the kid right now, so you can say
Right.
you have more. You're fresh on it. You're more fresh. I guess I'm still a kid also, but you're more fresh on it in your brain right now.
So,
We can talk about-
I had a brother, and I know you have a bunch of brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you have a younger sister as
Awesome.
well. But I saw my brother, I knew he pole vaulted, but when I saw him do it, it was really cool. I didn't think at it at first as you just pole vault. But then when I don't know, there was just some meet that he did it, and I was like, hey, I want to try this out. So, and then it kind of just started from there. That's
Yeah, it's similar to me. I pretty much started just looking up to my older brother, because I have 2 older brothers. I have a middle one, Antoine. They're 3 years and 6 years older than me. And Tawny, he didn't really jump very much, but Andreas, he would jump, and I always looked up to him. And I would say I think the passion I got for pole vaulting definitely came from him and looking up to him and just wanting to be like him. But starting off pole vaulting, I don't remember when I started. It was that long ago and I was so young. I don't remember what I was doing when I was 5 years old, or I was changing my diapers and then going jump and stuff. I don't know, like stuff like that probably. But because I would go, I could eat my cereal, I'm still in my underwear, I can just go take a couple jumps because it was so accessible to me. And I'm very fortunate to be able to have had that when I was younger, which is now what also most kids get to have. And so starting off, I really don't know. I don't know how I got it, but I just know definitely my passion came from my older brother.
So what's keeping you guys going?
I think he's probably the one who's keeping me going, because at 11 years old, I stole that record 12:10. I gotta jump 12:11 to beat that, and then at 12 you gotta jump 13:1 to beat that. So each age, hey, I'm gonna try to beat that. So he's kind of the one who's keeping me going.
He set the standard for you.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I was similar to that in a sense of, when I was younger, I looked up to him, I idolized him. I drew it over him. I remember when he was here in the summit when I was 13 years old, I think. How old are you?
I'm 11.
Yeah. So I think I was 12 or 13 years old. He came both those years. I would walk around that little first floor. I'd walk around I'd just stand around there because I was like, eventually he's got to walk around here sometime. Right. I was walking around, he's got to pop up eventually. And I ended up actually running into him. I remember. I think I choked out. I think I had nothing to say because I didn't think that far into it. I just wanted to see him. But I always. I wanted to. I never wanted to be Reno, but I always just kind of to. I don't know, because I did always want to kind of be myself, but I definitely idolized him, and then, it came a lot faster that I was competing with him than I thought it would have happened. So. And I remember actually when I was younger, I was doing the math. I was like, how high am I going to jump? I'm going to have to jump at what age to be able to compete with him? I was like, I'm going to have to jump pretty high. I was like, I'm going to have to be 17, 18 years old, jumping 580, I would say. Right. And so I already knew I was going to have to do that if I wanted to compete against Reno. And I was able to do that. But one of the big things for me was I always wanted to jump my age. Yeah. And then now, since these might be my last years jumping my age, I really got to get these because 21 and 22, that's going to start getting a little tough. That's going to start.
Yeah, that's getting to the top of the pole vault.
19, 20, that's, yeah.
Oh, man. So what was it about Reno that drew you to him as a 13-year-old?
It was maybe the fact that, Bubka was the man. Bubka, that was the way to jump. You have to jump like Bubka. And I was a fast little kid, but I was a little kid, and I wasn't that strong. And I kind of just figured out that, he was this big, fast, just kind of I felt like at the time it's superhuman to where I didn't think physically I was gonna be like him. And then I saw this little French guy jumping, and he's jumping as high as Bubka, and it's well, if he's not maybe quite as fast, and he's definitely a lot weaker and shorter than then why would I be jumping the faster, stronger dude that I don't know if I'm going to be as fast and strong as him? So I was so I guess Reno must be doing something right. Yeah. There's some things that he's doing right. So I just kind of started to model my technique a little more off of him. Yeah. Because I used to like to kind of just try to imitate vaulters to kind of see what fit me and what I would kind of, because it was something I did for fun when I would just kind of jump like people, but at the same time I could really feel things, because learn a lot. Sometimes I would go and I just double leg swing like Colwick, and it was fun, and it was kind of a joke, but I was really moving poles, and I was jumping on my real poles when I was just imitating them. So I was right. Why am I not just doing this? So I was let me just drop my leg then. So I just started dropping my leg and then just kind of jumping like that. But
so you just played a lot.
I just played that. I think that is the best thing I did when I was young. I think that is the best advice that I would give you, Caelan, that when I was younger, it wasn't a job for me. It wasn't something that I had to do. It was something that I did it, and I did it when I wanted to do it too. And my dad was also good at that and not forcing me to jump every day. And like I had days where I knew I was going to practice because I would tell him, I was like, yeah, I practice on Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. And I would do it, and I wanted to do it. And, not every day was good. Or, maybe even some days I had a bad day. Some girl told me I was ugly or something. I don't know, like just anything, like whatever happens in elementary school. And, but, just the fact that, like, every day I just tried to have fun with it. And whether I wanted to straight pole that day or I wanted to jump lefty, I would always do it. And I kind of did what I want, but not to a sense to where I was crazy. Well, I was kept in control a little bit, but I think it's just like, because you don't really hear that much people like having just fun with pole vaulting, but like, there's people, soccer players and all that, they just go kick the ball for fun. They just go kick, they just go shoot around and all that. And it was just like that
right.
For me.
Yeah.
I was just jumping around.
Just playing, man.
I was just playing around.
He was telling me earlier, you first started pole vaulting on the crossbar, jumping over tomato plants. So you were playing too, man.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to do it, for sure.
Because in other events, let's say some kids at this age, maybe they're trying to like work hard, like, hey, like work hard like the elites do, but really it's kind of just have to have fun, like,
always,
because otherwise you might get burned out. It's probably, I know, number one rule, hang on to the pole, but not
probably should do that. Yeah. Good.
But like, you need to have fun. If you're not having fun, it's not
worth it.
Not worth it.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You still need to work hard. It's fun to work hard and stuff.
Bingo. Yeah. I think you nailed it, man. You're wise beyond your years. I just keep saying that over and over again.
But
that was actually, this is almost kind of my issue when you're speaking on that. Like, I don't really like to lift weights. I'm not that strong. It's not that fun. I go in and I go into the weight room and some shot putter's lifting 3 times more than me, and it's like, I don't feel that, I'm not that confident. Like, I don't feel that good. I'm kind of like insecure. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm not that strong. But I think that it was something for me that PB feeling and that feeling of just clearing a PB or anything, it's so worth doing a couple things that maybe you don't want to do. Maybe a couple things that are not even that you don't want to do, just that you kind of, it's not the most fun thing you've ever done, like lifting weights or something like that, or that extra 150 that you have to do even though you feel like you're going to vomit. But I think that's always been a thing, is like the end result is just, it's so worth it in the end for me.
Mm-hmm.
That, just knowing that you improved in that PB feeling.
Yeah.
You can't beat the PB feeling.
Yeah, you can't. You really can't. There's nothing like it.
No,
that's what we live for. We always, and usually, unless you decided to not jump after 6:05, but you usually always end on 3 misses, right? So it's like,
at least
keeps you coming back.
If you end on 3 misses, hey, guess what? You have more progress. Because if you just keep making it, you'd progress, but you're not really progressing.
Could have some failure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
So,
gotta embrace the failures.
Well, it's like, where did I get this from? I got this from like How I Met Your Mother. It's like you can't make. I don't know if I don't think you watch How I Met Your Mother.
He knows what that one is.
Maybe a couple more years. But you watch.
Definitely.
Like Barney wants to make every night legendary.
Right. Yeah.
But then you can't. If every night's, then I forgot his name. But if you make every night legendary, then every night's just normal.
Right.
Then normal. If you PR every meet, then it's just a normal meet. Then you're not gonna PR every meet. So that's what makes the PR so much more
that's
special.
Why the waves are.
Exactly.
And that just means more progress. If you don't PR that meet, hey, guess what? I can PR next meet. Maybe.
Feel even better the next meet too.
Yeah.
Man.
For sure.
I had to bring this up because last year we talked a little bit, and your sister told me I needed to start making makeup vlogs. She just wants to make that stuff. So I've been thinking about that all the time, and I'm like, I told Carrie, he's like, we gotta figure this out. I don't know how to put on makeup. Yeah, just for her, just one. And then I'm not a video gamer at all, but I had no idea what Fortnite was even last year at the summit, and you got her hooked on it hard. Where now she creates her characters and blows them up. Do you play Fortnite, Caelan?
I play a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
I really, that's one of the things that, like, that's the only thing I really gave up. Like, I didn't give it up, but, like, I don't know. I just haven't been playing a bunch of video games.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I think, like, once you're playing video games, it's hard to stop. But then, like, once I'm not playing video games, it's hard to just get back into it.
Yeah.
It's so time-consuming and all that. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I love video games. I like passing the time with anything like that.
I just thought I'd tell you gave her an addiction.
Okay. That's, so
I don't know if you're
good, I guess. I don't really know.
But yeah, she's
like,
it's fun for me to watch her
you're
swear
welcome,
at the TV
maybe.
all the time. So how is college going, man? I mean, I know we don't have to go down this road, but
yeah, for
I'm
sure.
just kind of
no, I get
curious.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I didn't. I mean, obviously, I didn't go out of state. I didn't leave very far from home. My parents still coach me, so it's not as big of a change as it is for most people that go to college. But I mean, because it's 45 minutes exit to exit.
Oh, okay.
Lafayette to Baton Rouge.
Gotcha.
It's pretty close. And growing up in Lafayette, Baton Rouge and LSU football games and baseball games. Before my brother was even on the baseball team, it was a big thing. We would all go to it and have a good time. And so, I mean, I knew a lot about LSU culture and all that, but
because all your family went there.
Exactly, and just it was just kind of something you do. It was just kind of something everybody would do in Louisiana. It was just LSU football, baseball. It's all a big deal, and so it's honestly I would say it's mostly what I expected.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fun time. You try not to have too fun of a time,
right?
But try to
Yeah.
keep it to a minimum.
Yeah.
But it's a good time.
Yeah. No, I was just curious. Only because that first year, I know for a lot of kids who might be listening to this, that first year can be kind of tough. Like, it was tough for me. I almost didn't go back to school after my first year. But I mean, I was 4 hours away and everything too. And I don't know about. You'll get there someday too, man. So we're just planting seeds, and it's coming though. But that was, I guess, my only question was, I'm just happy it's going well for you, man. That's ever bug you, but that first year I always worry about kids the first year.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, it was always a thing. It was like I always wondered. I was like, because I see a lot of kids that are very good high school jumpers and just athletes, and they go to college and they kind of just fizz off a little bit. And I always wonder, I was like, what is that about? Like, how? Like, why is it happening? I get to college and I see. I'm like, I guess I can see how this could happen.
Yeah.
I guess, but I have too many goals in mind. I have too much stuff that I want to achieve to let things like getting a little too crazy stop me and stop me from that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm just jacked for you.
So,
Caelan, got any more questions, man?
All right, so like
I knew you did. I could see over there. Like,
dude, I got
shut up,
loaded.
Shawn. I want to ask some more questions.
So I heard your roommates are all track competitors.
Good too, very good.
Mm-hmm. And aren't they all from they compete for different countries as well, right?
We have Jamaican hurdler. He won the World Junior Championships. British hammer thrower won the World Junior Championships.
American sprinter.
Me, I guess I won the World Junior Championships also. And then the only one that competes for the United States is Javon. He's a long jumper and high jumper, but stud athletes. All people that can score in NCAAs and stuff this year.
Does it help rooming with track athletes more so than normal people? Do you think?
I mean, especially
normal people,
especially really driven, focused. I mean, good ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that I could room with that it would be kind of it just wouldn't be a bad, I mean, maybe you wouldn't be able to sleep as much or anything, but I mean, it really is a group of 3 driven people in their event, and I mean, it shows they're at the top of the level of the NCAA, and so it's a good group of guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's good.
So
we won't keep you all day, I promise, man.
No. I got a little time.
So you guys all compete. Are you happy with your roommates, or do you wish for maybe people who would also pole vault?
No. Yeah, I love my roommates. Pole vault. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it doesn't really matter that much to me. I mean, I pole vault throughout the day, and so, if I love track and field also. Pole vaulting's not the only sport, or not even event that I pay attention to. I like to talk to them about hammer throw, long jump, high jump, hurdles, all that. because I like track and field. But maybe sometimes it's good to get away from it for a second. You know, when you get back to the room.
So was there ever a time in your career, like considering you're as a kid, was there ever a time like where you were like kind of frustrated, like, hey, I'm not gaining anything, like, man, I really upset, frustrated at yourself? Has there ever been a time in your career like?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was consistently improving. I'd pick up my foot every year, and I think it was from 11-year-old year to my 11-year-old and 12-year-old year.
Yeah, because I think
I never. Oh yeah, what's up?
like, because I seen on your progression video where you only gained like 2 inches.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mature. I didn't grow. I was kind of just stuck there. I mean, I was playing baseball also. I was playing soccer. I was doing other things. Not like I wasn't pole vaulting. I wasn't getting worse. I don't know. I was kind of just at a standstill, and it was frustrating. I mean, there was definitely a time where, you know, I didn't know if I really wanted to just devote everything to pole vaulting. I mean, my 12-year-old summer, that's the summer of, you know, like the Little League World Series that they have on ESPN and all that.
Yeah.
So I was on the All-Star team for the Little League club in Lafayette, and I wanted to make it to the League World Series. Like, I wanted our team to get that shot up there on ESPN and all that. But so that whole summer, I devoted everything to baseball. I didn't touch a pole the entire summer, my 12-year-old year, and I think it was good, honestly. I don't regret it at all, and because I really put everything into baseball that summer, and you know, I decided that that's not what I wanted to do. I loved it. I miss playing baseball to this day, but it wasn't something that I really wanted to continue to just keep putting everything into. And so yeah, I mean, I've had some downs, like those couple years where I wasn't maturing. I was small. I wasn't everybody was kind of just passing me up, but it got better.
And then what about I was like, okay, so you know how sometimes when you don't really gain that much, I feel like this happens with every pole vaulter. When there's a time in the year where you don't only gain maybe a couple inches.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like later you just gain a whole bunch of, like, from maybe you went from 12 to already to 15. Like, I feel
like me specifically?
Well, like, everybody, if they don't, like, gain that much that year or 2 years, but then, like, the next year they gain, 3 or 4 feet.
Like, they have, like, a breakout year, you say?
Yeah. I feel like that happens every time with
yeah, I mean, I think everybody, they hope for that breakout year. You know, it's always fun to have a breakout year. I think my biggest breakout year was my freshman year, where I started growing a little bit, started getting a little more mature.
Yeah.
And I think I went from like 15.6 to like 17.4. That was one of my biggest jumps. And then I kind of had this year, my sophomore year, where I was growing almost too much, because I was like 5'4" going into my freshman year. I was growing a lot, and I just couldn't control my body really. I was kind of like Bambi, like, I don't know. I just felt like uncoordinated, and like it wasn't my favorite time of jumping, to where I just didn't feel strong at all and nothing. And then I go into my junior year, and then I kind of stopped growing finally, and then I could caught up. Then I was back. Yeah, my body caught up with itself.
And then, so you know, like the big five of high schoolers that are jumping like over 18 feet, because you got Sandre, Emmanuel, Casey, Zach, and you have you. So are you excited for that, to have those other kids about your same age jumping?
I think it's crazy how well all the high schoolers jumping, because I remember when my brother Andreas, oldest brother, was in high school, he jumped 17.2 at the Texas Relays, and that was a big jump. That was like, if you jumped 17 foot in high school, you were the real deal. I mean, you were the man. And I don't know what the reasoning for this surge of 18-foot jumpers is, because I mean, it was not long ago that if you jump 18 feet in high school, it was like
there's only like 4 people that ever did that.
Yeah, ever. like it was crazy. It was not heard of barely.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, this where everybody's getting this extra motivation from, but
it's weird. I'm almost kind of sold that it's coming from the second generation. Like these parents that grew up on fiberglass are now able to teach their kids about it. That
possibly.
And
it's
just a theory, but it's starting to feel that way a little bit. Like
we figured out. That would make sense.
It kind of does, right? Like it's just the natural evolution of it. Whereas like your dad was probably still trying to figure out fiberglass and different ways to jump.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. And now he's like, oh man, if I had one, I had the knowledge I had now with that bike. Exactly. I'm just gonna give it to Mondo.
Yeah. He just I have the benefit of not having to make the mistakes that my father did.
Right.
Because he didn't. So that's probably saved me years.
Yeah.
Because he's made so many mistakes he can't even count it on both of his hands, and you live and you learn, and I definitely think the sport is moving in a good direction of technique, and people just feel like they're starting to figure it out now.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to steal a question from you. Is that cool? Mm. All right, I'm just checking, man. I know you're itching. You probably got a whole back pocket full of them. So what kind of advice would you give a kid, like even if they're 10, or younger, or even middle school or high school? Like how would you suggest starting in this sport from your perspective?
Yeah. I would think that the best way to start is kind of like I said earlier. I mean, just find what you like about the sport and really dive into that.
Yeah.
I love to watch videos of people on the internet and then go and try to jump like them. And I dove into that. I mean, I would watch it. I would just go jump outside. I had the computer right in the living room. Would just go take a jump or so, like right. Make sure I was looking at his technique right. And, I think having fun with it is a very important thing.
Yeah. Especially
before you really start training and making it into almost a job. Like it's becoming for me almost now. And I think that once you just find what you love about pole vaulting the most, and I just hammer that.
So what do you both love about pole vault?
Ooh, I think, like I said earlier, the adrenaline. That might be my favorite part.
I'm an adrenaline junkie too.
Or like when they start clapping, and the feeling on like your last attempt going over the bar. It's just it's a big relief, but then it's also when you get to stand up and just scream. It's just a very fun experience.
Yeah.
I wish he didn't steal everything that I was about to say, but
that's awesome.
that's he nailed pretty much all of it on the head.
Yeah.
I mean, just that the feeling of jumping. I mean, my favorite thing is, I love to watch pole and I love to watch people jump.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite thing was to housekeeping. My favorite thing was to watch these elites on Friday night. I loved that at Reno, and I just hoped one day that I'd be competing Friday night with the elite guys.
Yeah.
And I love watching, but I mean, nothing was better than competing when you just, I don't know, just when I have that pole in my hand on the back runway and I know that I'm on and I just feel like totally in control.
Yeah.
And I control everything. It's not like a team where, I can go 4-4, 3 home runs, but if the pitchers aren't doing good, then whatever, you can still lose. Like when I'm on that runway, it's like it's all me.
It's you.
It's like I control everything that's going to happen right now.
Seems like you love just that control of it.
I do. Yeah.
So when you played baseball, was it different then?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's a big reason why I really like track and field, because it's not that I wasn't a team player, but I liked responsibility on myself.
Yeah.
I like to do bad, and I wanted to just be all on me. I want to be mad at myself. I don't want to be mad at anybody else.
Right.
And I want the success to. I want to feel. The success feels a lot better when it was just.
Yeah.
When I'm the one who accomplished it.
I told the kid I was an individual sport guy too. Like my first sport was like karate, and I was gonna be like a professional fighter. Yeah. It was crazy. And then like from there it was, I did diving because it convinced me it would help me snowboard, because I was a snowboarder, big time snowboarder too. And then pole vault soon came after, because all that adrenaline stuff. Like, I think we're all kind of wrapped under that same thing. But
I also like to do individually stuff. Like I do a bunch of team sports, but like pole vault was probably one of my individual that I do. Like football, if someone didn't block, you'd hear my dad or I yelling really loud. You'd be like, "Why the heck did you not block him?" And I don't like doing that to people, especially the next day at school. Or be like, "We're not friends anymore."
Right.
You yell at me during the football game,
Yeah.
but
I remember those days.
Yeah.
But it's still like I like individual sports as well.
Sweet. Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time. So let Caelan, if you got one or two more questions, we'll let you roll with that. And then if you have any questions for Caelan, that might be a cool way to end it. We'll end it there.
Shoot, I have to think.
Okay.
Yeah. He's going to ask you like weird questions.
All right. I think I'll probably do 2 more questions. I'll be done.
Hey,
All right. So
fire 'em off,
I know
fire 'em off.
I already asked this question, but I think other people also would like to know. So, like, why Sweden over the USA? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I get it all the time. But it was the World Under 18 Championships. I knew I was a dual citizen, obviously, but for some reason I never thought it was. I don't know really why I never thought of it like. I really just never, like, It wasn't that I thought I knew I was going to compete for United States or I knew I was going to compete for Sweden. It kind of just it happened to where I was only 15 years old. I didn't realize I was going to be competing in an international competition at that young. So it just never really crossed my mind. And the head coach, Coach Jonas, was very persistent on trying to get me to compete for Sweden. And how I was talking about earlier, how I've always Sweden and track and field had a very strong place in my heart when I was younger because it was a lot more opportunity over there, and there was a lot more opportunity when I would go with the club system over there, and I'd be able to jump when I was younger because it's really tough in the United States to get meets when you're younger. And I thought it was a good opportunity for me, and my parents agreed. They thought it was a good opportunity, and I decided to just kind of give it a shot, see how it was, and it's the support I got was ridiculous, and I just never looked back from it.
All right, last one from me.
All right.
So the pole vault community, I think it's a very, I don't know, really just track and field. I feel like every person's really kind, have a really good personality and everything, other than other sports like football or trash talk. But I feel like pole vault, it's very humble people. You'll get a couple of people that,
of course, yeah.
But yeah, I feel like pole vault's probably really good.
It's a brotherhood, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
how can I say this?
I don't know what you're trying to ask me.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the pole community is not okay. Might have to change up the question.
Are you talking about me, the pole vault community itself?
How is
everybody here in Reno, or me competing specifically with Reno, Sam, all of them? Or
yeah, with
which
Reno,
one?
Sam,
Which one do you think?
With Reno and Sam
Okay.
and all them.
Yeah, what I've been able to do this summer, and the friendships that I've made and the relationships I've made with all these pole vaulters, it really is a brotherhood, and the support that we show each other, I think it's unmatched to any sport or event that I've ever seen. And just being able to travel around with those guys and all those meets, I don't. Have you heard how the Grand Canyon? You go to the Grand Canyon, and no matter how big you think it is, it's bigger.
Right. Yeah.
For me, it was I feel like no matter how, because I feel like you have big expectations. You want to compete in all the Diamond League meets, the World Championships, the Olympics. You want to be on the top stage of track and field. You want to go on the European circuit. You want to do all that. And for me, it was I thought it was going to be the best thing in the world to do that. And it was just it was even better. It was no matter how amazing and how fun I thought it was going to be, it was somehow it matched it. And I thought it was going to be the time of a lifetime, and somehow it's more than that. Somehow, words don't even describe it. But I mean, the things that I get to do with pole vaulting now, the people I get to meet,
Yeah.
you know, the places I get to go, it's, you know, I'll definitely look back on it when I'm not jumping anymore and be very fortunate for all the things that pole vault's given me. And
See, it's
not-
like it's.
oh, you know, you're good.
No.
No, you're good. You're good.
So like, see, it's really kind of like it's not really a competition. I mean, it is,
Of
but it's
course.
just a bunch of friends competing against each other.
Yeah,
So that's what's so fun about it.
It
Like,
really is. It's, you know, it's hard to explain almost.
And I
But-
think that's okay, right? It's like the Grand Canyon, like you said. Like,
Yeah.
you know it's there. People tell you, but you can't experience it until you experience
Until you
it.
experience it. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on the head, dude.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, you already said it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just can't explain it. And you get it, Caelan, right? Yeah, and I think we all get it. As long as you pole vault, you get it. And everyone here at the Pole Vault Summit, I think that's why.
Yeah, but like I knew when I would. This is 13th year being in Reno.
yeah, right.
It's a good amount of years, and for the 10 of them or whatever, 11 of them, now I watched the elites,
Right.
and so and I knew, like, if I was jumping there one day, it would be incredible.
Yeah.
If I'm jumping on that, and it was one little notch up than what I thought it was going to be. Like,
Yeah.
it never fails to, you know, amaze me how fun it is to jump in front of like a good crowd of people that want to watch me do what I've been doing since I was as young as I can't even remember.
Yeah. And I didn't jump in meets even close to as big as you are, but Reno was always one of those special places that, yeah.
This is like
something about it.
it's kind of the Olympics of pole vault.
Pretty much, yeah. I would say so. I mean, it's definitely one of my favorite meets that I've ever competed in. I've competed in a lot of cool meets now.
Yeah.
But I think that a thing that kind of gets a little misinterpreted almost is like that we want each other to beat each other. We are not like me, Sam, Reno. Like, we're very competitive. You know, we really want to beat each other.
Yeah.
And we like every meet. Like I want to beat Sam every. Sorry,
That's
I want
all right,
to beat Sam every meet that I compete against him at. I just want him to jump good, but then I just jump better than.
Yeah.
I just jump better than him.
Yeah.
It's like I would love for Sam to jump 6 meters as long as I jump 6:05.
Yeah.
But as long as I just want my better to be better than his better.
Right.
But I mean, of course, I want him to succeed, but just
Be a
I want
little
my
better.
success to be a little bit more. Yeah, of course, because you know I've always been a competitor. I want to win and stuff, but you know I think it's just it's just respect out of each other is the biggest thing. Is just respect for your competitors.
All right, I have one more.
Oh,
So this
it's
just
good.
okay.
Hey, no. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. That's fine.
All right, so this one is kind of a question for my coach. Do you think pole vault should have its own kind of be put away from track and field?
Oh,
So kind of have its own little event? Because you won't have long jump just have
Yeah.
its own event, or the mile run have a big old.
I mean, I don't think it should be its own event necessarily, but I think that street meets and, you know, meets as the pole vault summit where just pole vault meets, I think it really helps grow the sport for sure. I don't think many people will deny that, and I think that it's special in the sense of that you don't really have a long jump meet really much.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's almost a common thing to see like just an only pole vault meet. I don't really know why that is exactly, but for some reason that's just kind of how it is. And but I don't know. I love track and field. I love to go to stadium. I love to watch pole vault. I watch the 100 meter. I like to watch it all. So I don't know if I would want it outside of track and field, but I mean, just pole vaulting competitions are as fun as it comes.
So it sounds like you like it the way it is. Like you
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of have a bit of both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
Best of
I
both
like. I mean,
worlds.
because, well, they had Lausanne, Switzerland. We were jumping, and they wanted to do something like outside the stadium,
Yeah.
and we jumped like right outside the
Oh, cool.
the lake or river. I don't remember what it
Yeah.
was. Like,
Yeah.
body of water, and we jumped like right outside, and like kind of the town gathered around while we jumped, and that's my favorite kind of meets.
Right.
Yes. I mean, other than just the championship feeling of like what you could succeed. I mean, that's probably as fun as it gets.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just getting people outside of the sport into it.
For sure.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I always love
Exactly.
that too. All right. Well, do you get any questions? Dude, I'm not going to keep you anymore. I know Caelan probably got a million more questions, but I want you to rest up and be able to jump well tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I have to jump.
I know. We got to remember that.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. No, I'm good. Questions. Well, what time do you jump?
I can't jump.
Huh?
I can't jump.
Oh, true.
Oh, yeah. Did I tell you
Sorry
about
to
it?
hear that.
Oh,
Yeah.
His appendix, man. So, did I tell you the whole story yet?
I don't think
We
I
talked
know
about
the
it a little
entire
bit.
story.
So, he got his appendix taken out.
Shoot.
The day before he was supposed to fly out, and right as he was going in, I know we're gonna double this on the podcast. Right as he was going under, they were putting him under the. He goes, "Can I still go to Reno?" And the doctor's like, "We'll see." And he goes under, and he comes out, and the first thing he goes is, "Did you figure out? Can I still go to Reno?"
So what about that Reno?
Yes, I really want to go to Reno. And so the doctor looks at him and is like, "Oh man, you can't fly. I'm sorry." And he goes, "But can I drive?" And he's like, I guess so. You're in
You want to.
Missouri. That's like 30-hour drive. But so that's what they did. They drove 30 hours.
30 hours.
Just 30 hours. His dad stayed up the night before because he was having, his appendix taken out, and then
Wow.
drove the whole. I think 4 hours. You said you got of sleep.
Yeah, about that. That's pretty crazy.
4 hours.
That is
And then they showed up
Dad
yesterday.
of the Year award right here.
Yeah, so
For sure, that's
what I was
awesome.
talking to you the whole time. Like, I don't know if he's coming out, but maybe he is. I don't
Yeah,
really know. His,
we'll
his
see.
appendix is
Yeah.
not in his body
It's
anymore.
it's not there, but
Yeah. So
That's
he ended up
crazy.
making it, and yeah, here you are, man. First Reno.
that's next
Yeah.
level. That's next level passion right there.
I'm just-
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I'm a little upset that I can't jump, but
Yeah,
I'm
of
just
course.
really happy to be here.
I think you got
Yeah.
some more Renos in you, man.
For sure.
I think you'll be back.
Not the last Reno.
Yeah.
At all. Not at all.
Well, let's end it there. So, Mondo, thanks for doing this, man. I
Thank you for having
we
me.
didn't have to. This was really fun.
Oh, it was a good.
I
Time.
loved it.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
watching you my entire career, so it's been really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Watching those videos.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, thanks for
coming.
talking, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for the good questions.
All right. See you guys next time.
Yeah. All right.
As I said at the beginning of this video, there was 3 podcasts. The other 2 are with Katie Najat, and she talks about some mental health issues, and it was good, and it was just refreshing to hear somebody else talking about mental health stuff. The other one is with Steve and Caroline White. We talked about how they started the pole vault club, how they got into it, and then how it turned into a pole renting business, and how they started that. So if you're interested in any of that, those podcasts will be coming soon. Guys, remember, there are more than one ways to pole vault. I believe it so much I wrote it on the book. See you next time. I'm pretty pumped about it. This will be pretty neat. What's up, man?
What's up?
Welcome. Hey, dude, got a special guest for you.
What's up?
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do this thing.
So,
You ready to answer some questions?
yeah, just keep this in your grill, and that's about all I got to remember, man.
Okay.
Yeah, just right up in there.
Yeah.
So,
Wait for a
dude,
second.
all right.
Okay, hold him back.
you all right, dude?
Okay, I'm gonna
You
try.
should know him. You wear a speed suit all the time.
Yeah.
Man.
Whoa. Oh.
Kaylin, what'd you think?
That was
Is that your
amazing.
first podcast?
Yeah, first podcast.
First podcast.
First of many.
First of many.
podcast
Yeah.
for Caelan.
So, Kaylin, how many years until you guys are jumping together?
Ooh,
Did you do the math yet? You'll be doing
No,
it as soon
I
as you
haven't
leave.
done that yet. He gave me
It's gonna be gross and like
Yeah.
disgusting.
Don't do that anyway, though. So.
Dude, that's awesome. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah.